Hey guys, here's a small work in progress on the Tetra, what I've come up with so far. And I wanted to show this before I button it all up. I ended up replacing the magnets that came with it stock just because they're really weak. I've got the battery compartment all set up in there. Got the wires running down. They're glued in place. I'm not going to bother covering up, I don't think. On for the switch down here, you have to fold over the pegs for the wiring. Otherwise, this piece over here, and I pretty much have all the pieces for the chest cleaned up and ready to go on. This piece right here goes on like so, and there was a piece on here that's supposed to fit into the slot to basically hold the switch in place, but unfortunately, these and that did not fit in the same space, so I trimmed it off. It's not a big deal because this is going to get glued into place anyway. But I want to show you before I do glue it into place. So that'll go like so. This I left loose because I still plan on painting it. I haven't done anything with it. Now, one of the things that I found with Camphor that I decided to change up was how they, in their diagram, they show gluing the magnets that come stock into this. But if you're planning on painting it separate or putting it, it's a real pain in the butt. So what I did was I mounted magnets in here, and then these. But then I had the problem of keeping the magnets separate. They kept wanting to attach to each other in there. So what I did was I took just two small pieces of plow plate, put in there as a separator. They're not even glued in, they're just wedged in. You can see the magnets in there. So the big magnet is the positive, small one is the negative. You can see the positive line is longer. And we'll just pop that in. You can hear that it clicks. The other one you want on the other side of the plow plate. And you can hear that snaps in. And just slide it down in there. So we'll pop on. Now these, if you do one, you want to make sure, and besides epoxying them in place, you want to make sure and have yourself a rod going into the block. Main reason is because this supports the arms, and it's going to have a lot of torque on it and weight just over time with gravity. So you want to make sure that that's really secure. You don't want to come home one day and find like half your kit all laying on the side all Okay, so there's for that. And then for the head, now for the LED, I had to sand it down, and I drilled out the hole, and as usual, I used a little too much pressure, and you can see that I ended up cracking this piece. It's actually been filled already, and that you're just seeing the line in there. It's been filled with super glue and then talcum powder in there to speed that up. I'm not going to pull apart this part right now just because I've got the wires wedged in there. One of the things while I've got this off that I'm going to show you, these right here, you can see, it's not the greatest, and I could sit there with a little file or so forth and clean them out. Or we're going to knock those off, and we're going to replace it with some snake chain. I've got two different sizes, and I think I'm going to go with this one. So it will get, once they're knocked off, it'll get laid in like so. and replace it. And I think it'll look a lot better. I'll probably try and lay it sideways like that. I'm not sure. I may do it like that. It looks kind of cool like that. Anyway, getting off sidetrack here. So, these haven't been glued in place yet. They're just sitting in there. Oops, like you can see with that. So anyway, so again, just like that, just like that. Kind of line them back up. And then push the button and voila. So, looks pretty good. It's nice and bright. This will probably actually end up shining like across the room with it in there like that. If it's left stock, the light actually ends up being way back up in the head. And, yeah, that doesn't look that cool. So, anyway. So, there's that. Blind you all. Anyway. So, there's that. Let's turn this back on. So, anyway. So, now that I've shown you guys, I'm going to button this all up, pin it, glue this section, glue this on here so that I can progress a little bit further on it. And then, let's see, I've pretty much got the waist part done. Nothing's glued, nothing's primed yet. I actually have some paint coming from Playmo UK. You know, I've heard really good reviews about the paint itself. I know on some of the forums people are having some issues with maybe some shipping and everything. I know Matt Mrozik did, and that got all settled up. And you know, dealing with Playmo, he's been really great. He's returned all my emails. As far as I know, my order has shipped. It's on its way. It should be here Thursday. I'll do an unboxing of that to show you guys. I still need to sand this down, and as you can see, there are some big freaking bubble holes in this. There's one there that needs to be filled in. There's another one over here. Got some sanding powder in there. You got some blemishes in here. I'm going to have to take a Dremel and Dremel out. This one I can probably just remove with a hobby knife. This one's actually pretty thick. So the piece that sits on there won't actually fit into the hull. You can see right there. It's actually a hole, so I'm going to have to putty that. The exact same hole on the opposite side right there. We'll knock that out. Some gap issues around this. I'm going to take some plate and go around that to fill that in, fill in that gap, because that's just not attractive at all. And I need to do some heating on this just to warp it around. Same thing, I'm going to have to do some plating on here just to fill in these gaps and shift the piece over a little bit, because that's a lot of gap to go around there. I haven't determined yet, because these actually have the metal bits that go inside for detail. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to tackle putting lights in or not. They're actually kind of expensive for the LEDs. I might be trying to figure out an alternative to that. But so far, that part's done, and all the corresponding parts going to it are actually done. And then here's the parts that have been sanded down and stuff for the chest. I have a couple parts that I still have to remove, like the tabs on. But for the most part, they're all done. I have to. This is for the power cables to go through around the waist, and I have to drill that out because it's solid plugged on that end. for the most part, though all the red pieces and everything were pretty hassle-free, fit together real well. I've been working on the waist, or one of the legs, getting it all prepped. Part of the things are the same as camphor, and then there are a few swap out parts that I've noticed that are not the same. So I actually end up with like a little pile of frame parts that don't get used or swapped out. On this, I still need to put magnets in it, and I can't remember. I think I did a video last week and it ended up getting deleted, and I can't remember if I uploaded it. But the head is all sanded down, and compared to, you can see how shiny it is, compared to this, you know, it's got the rough texture. This is a lot smoother. I think I ended up finishing it up with like 4,000 grit on there. It does have some thin spots in it. You can kind of see through there. On these, it wasn't actually supposed to be seen through. There was a pinhole there. The gaps are actually supposed to be there, but they're supposed to be inside detail. So since that one side was already through and it was thin, I just decided to notch it out, and did the same on both sides. So we'll see how that turns out. Not bad. I still need to hit it with a hairdryer, because on a hairdryer, and put the magnets in, because on, you can see it kind of shifts to one side. So I need to hit it with hairdryer and bring this in to tuck it in, snug it in a little bit more. But there's that. And then this. And again, I have to put the magnets in. But that's generally what it's going to look like. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I know I ran a little bit long. You know, I got some of these, and thanks to Flip doing his review on them and showing. And I don't know what kit I'm going to use them on, but we'll give those a shot on something. And something else I ended up picking up that was pretty cool was, again, these are, you can get these over at Eco Creations, or Eco Creation, I should say. These are actual circle scribing sets, and I think this was like $3, and it comes in 1.5, and 2 millimeter in diameter, and they're kind of cool, just for adding extra details. Other than that, I think that's it for this run. Stay tuned. I will be doing a review, or my thoughts on the new Playmo color, and I actually have a epic, to me it's epic, piece coming in that I got, and some of you that are over on the forums will recognize it. Others, it may be new to you, so stay tuned for that. I will talk to you guys later.